if everyone is here, I will begin. This will be the first of doing something like this. And this is a pretty sensitive subject, honestly. I've tried bringing it up a few times in the Reddit fields, and I immediately just get destroyed. Everyone's like, oh, it's just balloons, or nobody, it seems like everyone's not able to grasp what they're actually looking at. So I think it's a good idea if we go through these videos. Now, I have, right now, I think maybe 40 hours worth of this guy's videos saved on multiple hard drives, just in case his channel gets nuked. You know what I'm saying? Gotta think about that. But yeah, and I'm also thinking about sending them out to all the prominent UFO people and like processing images to put into like an envelope and send it to them to be like, look, this is what this contains. These are your anomalies. Like, these are your jellyfish anomalies. These are your metapod. This is the Border Patrol's duck anomaly. It's a form of plasma that is, you know, fortunately, honestly, I think it's a really cool thing, the bringer of life in everywhere. These things are they are all over the universe, and they're probably just collecting space dust and then depositing it on a planet so that, you know, life can form. It's a facet of life. And I think it's so weird that the government is hiding this from us. Like, I've been going through a lot of old UFO sightings or talks, like books, like They Live in the Sky, Living UFOs by Trevor Constable, and the one guy who saw the first UFO witness while in a plane. And they both talk about it being some form of a living entity, like some form of organic matter. Me personally, I think that's cool, and I want everyone to know this. So let's get into this. So in this first screen, it looks like we are looking at what he's using to capture these anomalies. And I mean, already his setup looks like a freaking turret gun. It's like unbelievably cool. But yeah, so here we go. I hope you guys are ready. I'm ready. Luckily, I'm not stoned right now, because sometimes when I get high and I look at these, I like start freaking out a little bit. But it's cool. It's alright. It's like a learning curve, you know what I mean? Alright. So slow motion, 90 frames per second. So yeah, initially it just looks like a dot, right? Oh, that was it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so if I were to show this to people, they would immediately say it's a balloon, right? They ignore the fact that these are traveling at pretty significant speed and he has to continuously keep up with it. Properties in this object: when zero tumbling, that implies autonomy. Spot flaring, yeah, these things flash. Self-illumination, and then yeah, they morph. So just watch it. I mean, I'll watch it with you guys. It's like you have something on top and then you have something on the bottom, and then it's connected by a tether, is what he calls it. And these tethers are rigid all the time. Some anomalies react to direct signals, as this one had been confirmed by several independent observers in daylight and at night. Yeah, so you can flash signals at these things and they'll respond to you. He's actually made communications with them. They've mimicked numbers, which always provides some perspective and gives an edge to anybody aware of it over anybody ignorant or dismissing it. The relay when I was obviously interrupts the fundamental new knowledge. Read this video description for more information. Yeah, this information is very disruptive, honestly, and people seriously fight with all their might to ignore, I mean, this fabulous discovery. Like, to me, it's incredible, honestly, like, to think about these things just like up there and you can communicate with them. Like, it implies, are these interdimensional creatures? You know, like, it just got skinnier. Clear morphing. At first, the bottom was thick and big. Yo. Alright. 1/3 of the speed. Yeah, so it's like a long oblong shape. What is that? Yeah, no tumbling. I mean, these are so beautiful. Oh, it's the swastika one. I've seen a couple of them have that shape almost. Always will provide new perspectives to where there's an edge. And it has a tether on the bottom. Like it's like a box. What is that? Looks so cool. Imagine doing like psychology with this where you just show these to people. You're like, what does it look like? Oh, it's a bee. Yeah, so he's made direct contact with these things by, he'll send a signal up using 2.5 gigahertz, and then he'll use a mirror to flash a light at it. And then on the ground, using big whiteboards, he draws out, a number or a letter, and then these things will mimic it up there. And that's amazing. Like, this is so cool. And if you really look at it, it doesn't really look like a bee almost. Like it does, but then again it doesn't. And it literally looks like a balloon. I won't lie. I can see why people say that, but clearly there's something else going on here. Incredible. Watch while I'm watching this, I just realize that all these are balloons. I don't think so though. Yeah, these ones are cool. Yeah, how the lights just kind of do their own thing up there. It's not a reflection, it's like some form of intelligence. A cheap mirror in daylight to confirm that some anomalies will react by flares, power up, and direct signals. So you can contact these by shining a reflection up into the sky. And actually you really can summon these. I've seen 6 UFOs so far just by laying out and looking up at the sky. And he wrote something about that where he was like, think about it like if you see an anthill. All the ants are behaving like they should. They're doing their own thing. But then you see one that's kind of doing something else, right? You would zone in on that ant and you would check it out. And he's saying that that's kind of what these things are doing. Oh, here we go. First segment showing a normal balloon. Okay. Dynamics, yeah. So that's what a balloon does. And yeah, here we go. Drone anomaly spotted, 5:41 p.m. Yeah, dude, these things are so cool. And they're zooming up there too, man. What's really interesting as well is these feel familiar. When I see them, I'm like, oh yeah, I know what that is. Yeah, and the heads are always different. They're like sometimes you'd have the tether and then it'll be right here on it, or it'll be up and kind of a weird shape. Also, please comment and subscribe, and please get the word out about this, because this is the anomalies that we're seeing up there that the government only shows us black and white footage of. It's unreal. And the more and more I learn about these, the more I'm starting to see the whole entire UFO community is all about it's entertainment, and they're doing it for money. I think if people knew the true reality of these, it would be hard for them to ask for money. And that's not to say that I don't think there are other beings. So the Israel Space Defense Chief, said that there's a galactic federation and it's waiting to make contact with us until we understand what space actually is, right? And I'll probably repeat this on every single one because this is what I think. I think that they're waiting for us to acknowledge, this proto-life's existence in our atmosphere and all throughout the universe, right? Like once we accept this as a reality as a whole, then, an intelligence coming to us, an actual conscious intelligence, not to say these aren't, but, like a bipedal humanoid will be more easily accepted. And so maybe that's why they're hiding this information from us, so that it doesn't become well known and that they can stagnate the impending contact that will soon happen. Which, I just don't understand why. And if I were to really think about it, it's probably money, They're just doing it for money. Oh yeah, this one, some of them have a weird movement where they will tumble. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. I'll probably put it in the post, but there's a video of basically these flying over a football game, and they exhibit the same movement. It's really, really interesting. There's already abundant theories around published data studies showing the silver and intensities of complex plasma, the spontaneous formation of DNA like helical structures. Plasma forms can be templates for the creation of carbon-based life form. Yes, exactly. These are your panspermia, but it's pansporia, right? They're everywhere. They just kind of land in life. It's so cool. Elsewhere, around 90% of visible matter is a positive state. Yeah. What space actually is this, And so we are basically in a hole right now, shielded from this reality, which I think is it's a huge disservice to humanity. And I wonder if ancient humanoids knew about this, and they accepted it. They understood what it was, so they got technology or contact with these beings, and that's where you get your Anunnaki from and stuff like that. All right, I guess mathematics, intrinsic limitations. So yeah, what this guy also does is he writes out some really interesting stuff, honestly. I'll state first that we really love mathematics, its history, the great mathematicians' inspiring work, all of mathematics accomplishments. But when studying nature, mathematics is just a tool, and as any other tool, it has limitations that we should try to understand, as we should understand the limitations of any other tool. Formal modern mathematics uses the axiomatic method. A set of assumed axioms are taken on faith, and then by using logical inference rules, conclusions, theorems, are reached from these axioms. If axioms are not contradictory, then any conclusion reached this way will be sound, not contradiction will be reached. Many branches of mathematics are built using the axiomatic method, a method started by Eleusinian geometry more than 2,000 years ago. Well, I think he just rediscovered it. Now, the use of mathematics and natural science, in particular in physics, had been outstanding and not less than spectacular. This apparent spectacular success of mathematics had led many to think that reality can be fully described mathematically, that once all basic principles are known, then anything else can be derived as theorems in a sound theoretical framework, exactly like the Euclidean geometry. But this idea has several intrinsic problems. Any theoretical framework of reality always is based on certain assumptions on reality, like that like axioms in mathematics need to be taken on faith since they are beyond any full-scale practical validation. For example, space uniformity, space isotropy, consistency of speed of light at large scales, constancy of physical laws at great scales, etc. Damn it. But not only that, any theoretical model of reality will be incomplete in itself. There are going to be properties or conclusions that can be expressed in the given model, but that are not reducible to assumptions by interference. Okay, I'm just going to pause it so I can actually read it. Interference. Deduction. In other words, these properties are independent of the assumptions in exactly the same way that the parallel axiom is independent of the rest of the axioms in Euclidean geometry. See the Gödel's incompletence theorems. This implies that since reality always is richer than any model that we may conceive of it, since any model is an idealization, simplification of reality, we will always find properties or phenomena in reality that will be beyond the explanation power of any given theoretical model of it. New properties or phenomena always will surprise us, and the history of science is a good indication of that. The reality of anomalies is just a manifestation of reality intrinsic richness, of reality's intrinsic richness. Sorry. On the spot reading is something I gotta work on. I probably never be be able to read books or something like that. I hope that would be cool, actually. I'm actually wanting to work on my my sound. If it can sound like this. Did I just read? I did just read this. Oh, I paused it. I was pausing it in real life. Fuck. Okay. The abuse of any tool led to the hammer syndrome. For a hammer, everything looks like a nail. The abuse of mathematics led to the reality that reality can be replaced by its models, but nothing can replace the constant observation and testing of reality, since any theoretical model of it always will be intrinsically limited/incomplete. This abuse of mathematics led to a departure from objectively and to the idea that dogmas, theories, have precedence over reality, to cherish theories, to cultist tendencies in people working only in theoretical problems, and again, to departure from objectivity, and that always led to dogmatism and complacency. The fact that top scientists and academians are still ignorant of the reality of anomalies can be traced back to the pervasive reductionist mindset and abuse of mathematics in current scientific practice and its departure from objectivity. So yeah, I guess that a lot of people actually know about this phenomenon, but they ignore it, which is so interesting. And you can see the rigid, dogmatic, mindset that so many people have. Like Neil deGrasse Tyson, when we talk about aliens, at first he was like, there are no aliens up there. The space is too big. I'd love to hear his take on these anomalies for real. Be like, hey, so you know that this exists, right? These are up there. It's not like they're fake, these are there. What do you think, right? That'd be cool. I wonder why people like Avi Loeb haven't said anything about this. I love Avi Loeb, and I feel like he's a really good dude who's doing some good work, with the Galileo project. And I'm hoping that he may actually be one of the scientists that brings this forward, because he's looking and he will find, We'll see. Here we go. Okay. Look at this cool one. Yeah, no tumbling. They flare. Oh, and they're in a constant flux. So just watch it. Watch as it changes. That bottom part just came down somehow. And anybody can see these. It's not impossible to go out and observe them. You just have to go and look. and they're up there. Yeah, now it's a mushroom. It's a it's like a Mario mushroom. Now it's a Jamaican banana. Hey, that should be like a segment. Oh wait, infrared spotting, use of high and consistency, sending direct signals to anomalies will allow anyone to observe anomalies regularly. So yeah, I'm gonna figure out how to do this, because this will be the next step for me, is to actually start capturing these myself. Like, that whole thing just changed, honestly. Like, it's something different. So beautiful and just fascinating. Just wow. And like, this is disclosure right here. And it makes me think about what David Grush said on the Joe Rogan podcast, when he was like talking about how they always come into contact with nuclear energy or power plants. He said that maybe it's kind of like how a fly will go to food. It does it instinctively, right? Or when he said maybe they were never alive to begin with, he said that, and I've always thought about that. I was like, is he talking about their robots? Why is he saying it like that? And so this makes complete sense now. Maybe they were never alive to begin with, they just are. And if you aren't aware of this, that concept won't really click in your head. But once you become aware of these anomalies, it becomes something that's okay, that makes sense. Wow. Moving in flocks. But for something to be real, no scientific study of is needed. Anomalies are real, and still they're being ignored by society. Oh, it's so crazy. I'll post what the just absolute abuse I take on Reddit when I've been posting these videos, and I've stopped actually because I wanted to catalog all of this guy's work just in case they took it off of YouTube, right? So I have it all saved just in case, right? Because I'm thinking I'm going to be making some waves. I'm trying to make some big waves, and to tell you the truth, since this hasn't been taken down and it's been up for like 10 years, he's just been allowed to do this. I think they want this information to get out, but they don't know how to present it without causing a panic. So I'm thinking maybe I'll start, and then somebody else will start, and it will just be a growing community of this becoming knowledge, and then we'll have people who are tracking them in real life. Maybe there'll be like some influencer that's like, oh, check this out, I just found this. Images due to tracking. Yeah, so he has like a telescope thing that he like follows it, which is really cool, and he teaches you how to make it under $100. So I'm thinking about doing that actually. We'll definitely have to go out into like some random field though, or else my neighbors will think I'm like extremely weird. Hopefully they're not like religious zealots or something like that. Like, he's summoning demons back there. That would be hilarious. But yeah, so this is your standard thing that people will post on Reddit. Just a ball of light, right? And then everybody is like, oh, what is that? What is that? Wait, did that bird just fly behind it? Sorry. It may just be the filming. That's interesting though. Damn, what if all these are fake? They can't be fake. I've seen them before in real life. I know they're not fake. Oh, a bird passing behind this anomaly. Okay. That makes sense. See, and it's crazy. Like I'm constantly questioning myself of the validity of these. I'm like, are they balloons? Is that what he's filming? Are these like fake? Is that it almost feels like I'm doing something wrong by trying to bring this to people's knowledge. It's so strange. And like, people obviously call this a balloon, but notice how the tail is completely rigid and not the tether is not moving at all. Like at all. Are masters users of dynamic camouflage? Yeah, he compares them to octopuses, how they use camouflage and whatnot. It's like maybe these are some sort of life form that we just aren't privy to. Observational claim that can be validated by anyone, exactly as anyone could validate the reality of birds or the reality of Jupiter's moon. The value of something is independent of any ideas that we may have. Yes, I completely agree. The fact that I've seen things that are just like this, well, it was dark out, but definitely a UFO. And then the one that looked like these is like an orange light that literally flew right over top of me. It was wild, like super fast, and many people. And so the jellyfish one, for example, that tether is exactly what you were seeing. And I have a ton of these, and I'm sure I'm going to come across one with that same attribute. But I think I may go to bed right now. Yeah, I think that's the end. So stop in here. Alrighty, and then we'll stop the screen recording. Alright guys, well, I hope you enjoyed that. It was like 30 minutes of some content right there. This is the first time I've ever done this, so please bear with me. It'll get better. This is like akin to doing something live, and I'm not really that good at, going off the cuff, but I'm sure I'll get better as time goes on. So if you guys want to, please go to this guy's YouTube channel, Plasmoid Anomalies Study Group, and dive into this yourself. And I beg you guys, just start getting this message out. Like, don't be embarrassed. This is reality, and we need the world to know about this. Like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next video. Much love. Peace out. Actually, this is how I like to do it. This is From Thought. Much love. Peace out.